All right, Chris Popper here in Bangor. I'm joined for the MDI Coaches Show, and this time we actually have two coaches. So we have head coach Mark Shields and assistant coach Elias Byrne. And coach, congratulations, or coaches, congratulations. A nice win at Waterville, 28-6 on Friday, and at Colby College, which was beautiful to play at. I thought my gosh, you compare the lighting there to the old time when we've had lighting at Waterville at night, where half the field is you can do shadow puppets. But this was a great win and a great facility. Talk to us about your impressions of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the lighting because Walter Churchill, who takes our pictures, he said, "I'm in heaven down here." It's
Oh yeah, he was loving that.
amazing. And the thing about the Colby field is, I was telling my staff, I was telling Elias, I played my last down in high school on that field. It was grass back then when Skowhegan, we went there for an Eastern Maine championship, and we were the heavy favorites to win, undefeated going in. And Lawrence High School beat us on that field. So that brought back some bad memories for Coach Shields. But yeah, obviously pleased with the win, pleased with the effort by the kids. It was a game looking at the schedule, they're in our conference, right? The Northern Conference. It was a game that we thought we definitely had to have if we want to try to make a run to the playoffs. And we knew Waterville was going to be hungry. They were 0-2, we're 1-1. Credit to their kids. Their kids played extremely hard as well. And we had some things go our way. We won the turnover battle, which is always a good thing. We still coughed up the ball a couple of times. Let our offensive coordinator talk to that point. But
He's
getting
giving you a
5
stink
turnovers.
eye. I just want you to know the stink eye that he gave you.
Well, obviously, I'm blaming him. I don't take any responsibilities for things that go poorly. Okay, I find others to blame. So, no, but I thought our special teams played well. So I thought it was a really, it was a good team effort and a hard-fought win. And I will give kudos definitely to Coach Byrne. He worked extremely hard all week. We mentioned this on the Thursday show. Went back to fundamentals after losing to Lake Region. He worked really hard with our running backs, hitting the hole hard, and I thought they did a great job at that for sure. So kudos to him and Coach James. So we'll take it. And Coach, you have anything to add?
Yeah, no, we're obviously happy with the results on Friday. I could just tell from the start of the week it was going to be a better game than we've played as recently. So it's I'm a big believer of team captains, and I feel like this week, particularly with practice, our team captains stepped up and really showed their leadership abilities to the other teams just during practice and then on the field on Friday. We had to clean up some things, obviously, as far as running backs go. We did better this week with our running backs. We have more. We're going to make some more yardage on that as far as handing the ball off and hitting the hole hard. We'll continue to do what we do best, and that's what we do.
Who were the team captains for this week's games? This week game.
So we have 3 captains that were elected early on the season, and then we have a captain that we elect each week based off how hard they worked, attitude, that sort of thing. So that person was Cole Staples, who was new to football, new to MDI football. Yeah. He started at center for us. He had a real solid game for a guy that's had 5 weeks of football.
Right.
And then we have Ripley Hawkins, Joey Bennett, and Nate Olson are our 3 permanent captains.
Okay. So, this was a revert back to the old school MDI football of pound the rock and run the clock. You carried the ball 53 times, 262 yards, didn't pass the ball at all. And Kenneth Stillwell ended up 19 carries, 153 yards, 3 touchdowns. Lincoln Gray, 23 carries, 73 yards. Ripley Hawkins, 9 carries, 36 yards, 1 touchdown. Asa Joyce, 1 carry, 5 yards. And Troy DeGrasse 1 carry -5 yards when he went into, and kind of mop up time. Uh, I thought that Kenneth, he ran the ball really well. Lincoln, I mean, he goes up the gut, and any of his yards are always the most difficult when you go right up that center. Um, Talk to us a little bit about the play calling, if you would. I mean, you don't want to become too one-dimensional going forward, but I mean, obviously, if you can carry that ball 53 times, eat up clock, and go away with the win, why not?
That was definitely our strategy for Friday night, and this is as far as coordinating that, it's different with each game. So against Waterville, we kind of moved our formations around a little bit and then, pounded the football. This week is going to be a different game plan. So we'll have to, watch film on Mount Ararat. They're a great football program. So we'll have to shift focus and see what works with them.
Yeah. And defensively, I don't know who the defensive coordinator is. Yes, I do, Coach.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, you held Waterville to 94 yards, and anytime you can hold a high school team under 100, the defensive scheme worked pretty much to perfection.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was pleased with our effort defensively. The focus this past week was really working with our defensive backs. We felt as though against Lake Region, we weren't coming up and tackling real well, and we weren't dropping to our zones very well. So we worked real hard on that. The kids definitely responded. Henry Trombato, Tyson Mace, and Ripley Hawkins, they were our three defensive backs. And then I had Asa Joyce, who I've moved the linebacker, but our scheme against Waterville was to put him out in the flat, and he had 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery. So and Tyson Mace had an interception. So,
yeah,
those guys really did step up. Kudos to them. I'm really, really happy for them and proud of those guys. And hopefully we just continue to get better.
And I think if you can have four takeaways, you're going to win most games. Kind of like what the Patriots did not do yesterday, right? When they turned the ball over 5 times. So now the emphasis becomes Mount Ararat, play them at home. It'll be nice to be home. What do you know about the Mount Ararat? I think they're the Eagles.
Yep, right, the Eagles. So we played them for the first time last year in program history, and that didn't go real well
right
for us. They graduated some really good players, but they are returning some really good football players. I've seen them on tape. Coach Byrne obviously has looked at them on tape. Very similar. Coach True does an amazing job. He's old school, so he's a ground and pound kind of guy. He'll throw the ball, though. He mixes it up. He's got a lot of different formations. But at the end of the day, he does really want to run the football, and he does an excellent job with his line, his offensive line. They trap almost every play. They're pulling guards, pulling tackles, pulling ends sometimes, depending on what they're running. So there'll be a handful to stop defensively because they're big up front and they have strong backs. He has a real strong fullback, number 33, that's coming back from last year's team. Offensively, like Coach Burns said, we're going to try to get better. And I mean, every week as we talk on this show, there's always going to be, a different wrinkle. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to get better at what we're doing.
I don't know if you've announced who you gave the game ball or are going to give the game ball or balls to. Do you want to spill that now and let us know who?
Yeah, so Nate Olson is going to get the game ball. Nate, the last 3 games, has just been a one-man wrecking crew, defensively and offensively. The center, for Waterville, I'm sure he didn't,
He's got some nightmares of Big Nate.
Yeah, I mean, Nate's he's a man-child, big, strong kid. And, Nate's worked extremely hard for 4 years for us. And he's a gym rat. He's a guy, he's in the weight room all the time and making himself better. And, so he's well-deserving. And other people were as well. But I think Nate for sure, the last 3 games, he could have gotten the game ball. But he's getting it for this one.
What do you remember who you gave it to? Because I guess forgot to ask that question after the Houlton win. So 2 weeks ago after the Houlton win, who did you give the game ball to?
Yep. So we gave one to Kenneth Stillwell because he had a big game, at over
Yes.
100 yards rushing. And then Ripley Hawkins, our quarterback, and he played linebacker that particular night, received the game ball. And that was more, he has just done a great job embracing playing quarterback for us. I don't think in the off season he probably thought he was going to be our starting quarterback. And Coach Byrne, to his credit, worked extremely hard with him all summer long. He's become a real good leader for us, and he's really helping us, be successful on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. One of the things that I noticed, and I don't recall if it happened to MDI against Waterville, but I mean the exchanges between the center and the quarterback are so crucial. I mean, obviously, if you're out of the shotgun and it's a squib and the quarterback is going to try and grab the ball down low and then look up, and I mean, it just becomes a totally busted play, and that seems to have worked really well this year for MDI with, as you said, a brand new center and a brand new quarterback. And normally that's a something that takes quite a bit of time to adjust to.
Practice, fundamentals. Those guys, especially with the new center, I think Ripley took it upon himself, and the center, Cole. They were taking snaps during water breaks. They were taking snaps before, after practice, during specific times in practice. So they understand the importance of it, and they're just back to fundamentals. You're absolutely right. If you can't get the snap off, you can't get the play off.
Oh yeah, I mean you just see it in other schools when that happens, and you're just cringing and going, "Holy!" It's like, yeah.
That's one of those things that's frustrating for both sets of coaches. Even your opponent is like, "Jeez."
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, nobody. That's unfortunately that's how people get hurt if that happens.
Right.
Too frequently. So we know what you've got you'll have a team dinner Thursday night. Where is the team dining this week, Coach?
So we have
where have you tapped into that? What are you looking forward to eat, Coach? I mean, this is what it becomes.
So I have to give all the credit to Sherry Olson. She this week is La Bella Vita out of Bar Harbor. And I believe we're going to have it brought to the high school Thursday night for the guys to eat.
A little pasta, some meatballs, some salad, no doubt. Probably holy.
There goes the low-carb diet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Don't tell your wife. Yeah. Unfortunately, she watches this because you and I both have gotten phone calls from comments in the past. Yes. All right. Anything else we're missing that you want to add?
No, I just
Burns, thank you very much for joining us.
This is nice. Takes pressure off me, right? I just want to thank our fans. We actually traveled fairly well Friday night down to Colby, and we're hoping that we get a big turnout this Friday night against Mount Ararat. I haven't even looked at the weather yet, but
Going to be good.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Because that will be another tough game against those guys. So all the people we can get out there would be wonderful.
This is not homecoming. Homecoming's in a couple weeks?
Correct. I believe our homecoming is Orono week.
So that's kind of like the last home game, I think. No, second to last, because Orono and then Camden Hills.
Yes,
I think is what it is.
The 10th of October is Orono. Yes.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, I thank you both for joining us today. Coach Shields, we'll talk to you on Thursday. Coach Burns, you, of course, are always welcome to come on. And
well, thank you for
Well, yeah, thanks for being in Coach Shields' office.
This is our office. We make jokes about it. There's not room for 2 desks, though. So
No, this is my office.
Our office.
All right. Anyway.
Our office. There you go. All right. Have a great day. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, Chris.